What we're going to be tying here is Eric Smooth Criminal. This is a different version now that the Flymen shanks have come out, using the same steps. The hook that you're going to be using is a Dairiki 830 or equivalent. You're still going to use 2 Magnum rabbit strips. These ones are in olive. They are cut exactly at 1.5 inches. You are going to pierce your Magnum rabbit strip directly in the middle, and then you're going to lay down a thread base from the back all the way to the front. And that thread base is going to allow for the tear mender that you're going to be using to really grab a hold of and hold both pieces together on the hook. So with the tear mender, you're going to put it directly on the leather and on the hook shank. Try not to use too much. It's hard to do sometimes. If you do get too much on there, just use your finger, kind of wipe it off, and then rub your fingers together so it dries up really quickly and falls off of your finger. You don't want to get it into the rabbit fur. With the second piece, you match it up, and then you're going to squeeze those two together. The Daiichi hook size is a size 4, by the way. With your thread, you're going to tie down the very front end of the rabbit. That way it does not have a tendency to come apart on you. And then you're going to make a dubbing loop. Cut a little bit of the rabbit fur off of the leather and insert it into the dubbing loop. You don't need very much. You're just going to cover the front end of that. Try to pull all the hair fibers back as you go. Tie it off. Make a nice head, clean it up. Whip finish it. And then onto the front part of the fly. The shank that you're going to use is a 25 millimeter shank. Excuse me, a 20 millimeter shank. From Flymen Fishing Company. You're going to wrap up towards the back. You don't want to cover the whole area, but you want to cover it a little bit, making sure that it's tight in and secure. Then you're going to take an olive marabou plume. Really long, really fluffy. No broken tips. You're just going to tie that in, and you're going to palmer it forward all the way till about 1/8 of an inch away from the eye, making sure to pull all the material back as you go. Get that tied off, pull everything back, and you're just going to wrap over it a little bit. Then you're going to grab 3 strands of crystal flash, just 3. And when you tie them in, you want to make sure that the end of that crystal flash only goes about to the end of the hook bend. Then you're going to tie in 2 sets of rubber legs on each side. I'm using olive on this one. Then you're going to grab 2 pieces of olive schlappen and tie those in. And you're going to palmer those forward all the way to the eye. And the reason you use 2 pieces is because it gives it a thicker base for the fish skull to attach to. You're going to wrap over the top of them just a little bit. Whip finish it. Take a drop of super glue. Put it on the head of the fly. Grab your fish skull, and it's important that you put it on upside down. You want the weighted side of the fish skull to face up towards you. Thread in front again. Just whip finish it real quick. And then when you put your eyes on, you want to use just a little bit of super glue. They're adhesive eyes, but the eyes do pop off. Use super glue, they'll stay a little bit better. Just a little bit of super glue. And then to make sure that your eyes stay locked in, you want to grab some hard as hull in the blue bottle. And you're going to coat the head, the entire head, and it'll lock and seal those eyes in, and it'll give your head a nice glossy look. And that's Eric's Smooth Criminal.